I am prettier than Dede. I am sexier than Dede.
What are you doing?
Committing some random acts of self-love.
Oh,
It's time for me to put myself first.
What?
Beauty bite. Hello everyone, I'm Steve. Mark's around. Say hi, Mark.
hey everybody!
And this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. It's the weekend, so we know what that means. Mark made my coffee, which was very nice of him.
I did.
So it's coffee and something else, but it's very tasty. So I hope everybody is well. I hope everyone's safe. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Today we're going to revisit our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, the Daily Chantal, Chantopoulos, the Chantal Show, Chantadler, Foodie Beauty. So we went live last week, so we were just kind of catching up on the details from the week before that. So what we'll talk about today goes pretty much up to last weekend, Saturday, Sunday. And what we had left off with there was Chantal being the most transparently jealous person I've seen in a very long time. There was a lot of going back and forth between Chantal being upset because Dede, who is a friend of Nader's, friend as far as anybody knows, I guess, has been staying with him and stayed for a while. She was staying for a week, and she had stayed for a week a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3. And Chantal was upset that even though she was fighting with Nader, she didn't want Dede in the picture. You know, it's one thing if Chantal says no. It's another if she feels like her boyfriend, who isn't her boyfriend, was taken away from her. He wasn't taken away. It wasn't her boyfriend. So that was something we had discussed. Let's see. Last week when we were live, we covered also the STD, gonorrhea, starting to make a reappearance. Or perhaps, or was it fibbed about, or lied about, or exaggerated? Or was it put out there just to cast doubt in maybe Nader's partner's eyes to ruin what Chantal thought might be a kinky week without her there, because she was a little upset. So, okay. So there was more of that going on this week with Nader, Dede, drama, and Chantal. I have to say at this point, leave it alone. You're voted off the island. I mean, we'll talk more. If you're willing to buy smokes and drive them around, then that's it. You know, it looks like from him it's that or nothing. The text messages that had come through this week, which revealed a very kind of pathetic exchange where Chantal was, you know, hit up by Nader shamelessly for money and rent, perhaps, but she gave him allegedly like $150 for smokes. Smokes are expensive in Canada. And another amount, she was like, but do you mean rent money? She, at this point, would happily go back and have their situation where she paid for everything and he was more docile. But I don't think you can go back that far. If she would forgive his very long streams about her, where he's making fun of her clothing, making fun of her size, making fun of her having her business sewn shut, you know, female genital mutilation usually doesn't make it into jokes. Just putting that out there. That kind of fighting, all that kind of stuff that was continuing to go on. So she can have her position in that, but her position seems to be Uber driver, go get me smokes, go get me food, and I'm not telling you you're getting anything in return, so whatever you assume is on you. And he kind of drops it in her lap the way she drops it in her subscribers' laps. It's like, hey, I gave you these few facts. Whatever you decide to do with that is on you. I never told you we were in a relationship. I just said, can you get me a couple McDoubles? And in his defense, that's not the start of a relationship. She just reads a lot into it because she's lonely. She's lonely. So, also this week, OnlyFans is back. She's got a new man, a new man that she shows on camera. There was more whining about Nader. And then Chantal trying to save Dede from this relationship. this kind of like shifting of positions where all of a sudden now Chantal is like French fried girl and she's giving advice to Dede to stay out of this because it's not safe for her. Like she cares, but okay. So going into some more specifics. Nader, Dede, it's on replay and she's upset. Now she can't let go of the fact that Nader is hanging out with Dede. She can't. Look, Chantal, I don't know if it's for as many times as you say, we were together. If you were, okay, we'll indulge it. If you were, it's over. I mean, at least this planning our future together shit is over. People don't often plan a wedding together with the person who the cops called on them to get their machine, or who won't leave their door, or who calls 55 times. Are these the things that we're gonna put in the vows? Do you remember the time I drove around the block and was calling nonstop? Oh, remember the time I shut your phone off? Oh, that was really nice too. Or the gonorrhea. What are the colors gonna be? Green and white? For the wedding? Like, I don't know. So she's like, oh no, it's right in her face that she's just not welcome and not wanted and that her story makes no sense and goodbye. And she's still sitting there like stuff's still worth arguing about. Like it's not pretty much over, except for if she wants to be with Nader, then she can pay for things. She can have sex with him once in a while. Probably okay with him. But if she wants any more than that, she's lying to herself and ignoring people that are telling her what she should have learned over 9 months. Now, I understand messy relationships and semi-abusive things can be muddied. And lying to yourself, being in denial, pretending things are okay when they're not, ignoring huge glaring evidence. I mean, even Charles Manson had fans who'd write him in jail. So there's no, I don't want to say some women will do anything to keep a man, because I know plenty of men will do something to keep a man too. But it's not a good look. It looks desperate and lonely. It looks desperate and it looks lonely. And then she came down on Dede. How could you sit there as a woman and condone this? I am so sick of all of these women saying woman to woman. Woman to woman. There's no camaraderie here. There's no all the way underneath, but woman to woman, you know what I mean. These people hate each other and treat each other like shit. And then something comes out and they want to get serious for a hot second. It's crap. It's all crap. It's trying to be like, yo, for real, I'm trying to be honest with you. Even though I talked shit about you for months. Months. Real woman to woman. I want to be honest with you about something. It's all crap. I know the sentiment of it, and maybe for other women, it's true, but not this circle here. Not this little coven. There's no women to women honesty going on with that. It's just bullshit. It's bullshit. Like I said, in this circle of female folks, pretty much. She can't let go of Nader spending time more with Dede. There was like 3 videos this week of her whining about it. It's over. It's over. Sorry. There's not too much more to comment on a relationship that doesn't exist anymore. But I guess we'll go through. She said she feels entitled to the truth about their relationship. Dede isn't really doing any of the things to stop Nader as far as hurting Chantal. So Dede is sitting there while Nader did a vicious, hours-long trashing of Chantal. It went more than just, because I kind of made light in my head of, oh yeah, he tried on her dress, whatever. But the length that this went on, and that was brutal, even for Chantal. I didn't feel like it was a good thing, or certainly not nice, but when you're reading someone for 6 hours, it's not. But when he feels like it's in retaliation for 9 months of shit talking, can I blame him for being mad? Well, I can blame him for a lot of other stuff. But for being mad about that, no. And for her acting shocked in response of like, well, what was I supposed to do? I had no one else to talk to. Well, that's your fault. You have no one else to talk to. Except for, the gigapets. The VIBs. They're robotic. That's why I refer to them like that. They're not independently thinking exactly. There's a sort of groupthink of whatever she does is her business, leave her alone. fine, leave her alone. And then when something bad happens, they're all going to wring their hands and look at each other and say, why didn't we intervene? Why didn't we try to say something? And everyone else is just going to go, you know, if something happens. Luckily, she's in good health. We went to the ER this week, and she's fine. What did somebody joke? I heard it in a comment, and I saw it as a tag or a thumbnail, her quarterly ER visit. From looking at my notes, the last time she went was about 4 or 5 months ago, I guess. So it's not that far off. Okay. Again, back at Dede. I want to see your granny panties. Let it go. He'd rather spend time with her than with you. And it's childish to come up with other excuses or try to pretend that you ended it. Because that doesn't seem how it went. Asking you to get him fast food and put off an ER visit and orders from your doctor to pick him up groceries too doesn't mean he loves you. It means he's out of money. Okay, he didn't call to say, I love you, I'm sorry, let's have lunch. He called to say, didn't even say hey, he just said he was broke. You know, so what does our partner need from us? Can we give it? And does it further their relationship? Now, I have maybe friends going back in the day that would send a text like that because we've been very casual and we've never had issues with money in the relationship and we've traded back and forth and it's like, of course I can float you, whatever, that's back. I don't see the reciprocity. It's been a long day. Back and forth. I mean, basically, if she's just giving him stuff and he's sleeping with her, that sounds pretty cut and dry to me at this point. I don't know. Why do you all watch if you don't care? He obviously is obsessed with me. Or if he's making these long videos, he must care. Do you think the 90,000 of us that watch all care? She must know. She has to know that most people have train wreck appeal and watch. When you look at the number of people who are VIPs versus the total number of people that watch the videos and the things they say and the comments she mutes and gets rid of and all that kind of stuff, you have to know that most people aren't watching because they're in love. They're not. It's for shits and giggles. It's, hey, live your life the way you want. I'm just here to laugh. So there's people that like you but don't necessarily respect your choices. There's people that will like her no matter what. And then there's Nader, who likes her enough for her to pay for things. And he likes her enough, you know, to talk shit at her on TV and break her down just enough to think that if she throws some money at him, maybe she can get back into his little circle. Whatever. Next, OnlyFans. Now, she started in OnlyFans like last week. We have done OnlyFans before, like a year or so ago, and I had subscribed to the OnlyFans because in the interest of having a full body of, material to review, we joined. She put up about 3 pictures. Maybe there was a video, but it was like 3. And nothing else for the rest of the month, even though we paid the monthly subscription. And she kind of played it off like, hey, I never said you'd get a whole month's worth of content. I just said there'd be content. And then played the, I don't even know how to give refunds. I don't even know what to do to give them or get them or whatever. It was such a screw everybody over kind of deal. I don't know. So, she did, okay. Story times that she's going to be proposing in these OnlyFans, I believe, are pretty gross. And I'm not talking about the idea that sex with Chantal is gross. That's not what I'm putting out there.
I am.
Mark is. But I think going with the idea that she maybe wants to have a partner to do things with her is interesting. I would hope it would be someone that she would trust, like, and screen. Because when we just find random people online and go over to their houses and do drugs and sleep with them, sometimes you come back with an STD. Sound extreme? It happened within the last 9 months. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for even you. So just saying. So tonight on OnlyFans, well, the night of this on OnlyFans, it was supposed to be a FUPA reveal. Yeah, whet my appetite, honey. There goes my last shred of straight guy. And so, apparently there's a new man in her life. Okay. Now, when she has a new man and she's going to see him and she leaves out details, the instinct at this point is to say it's Nader, and she's lying. And she confirms that after the fact by saying, I have to leave things out if I want to have a private life. I have to tell you after the fact if I want to have a private life. I changed my mind. I didn't lie about what I was doing. I changed my mind. She says lies always involve premeditation. So if she's already taking the weekend off, which is what we were told, she's going to be taking this weekend, laying low and staying at home. Her words. Also, her words was that she had plans this weekend to do something with a friend. And all she said was a friend. Probably a friend who needs groceries. Just saying. The timeline around the end of this week gets a little fudged. A little funny. Well, up to today gets fudged. So, her new man is Moroccan, because that's the first thing she says about everyone is where they're from. And he's not Nader. We get to actually see him. By the way, you know how she thought when she was smearing Dede and Nader all over the place? She drummed up some symptoms that she thought was a reemergence of gonorrhea. And then she's watching the TV crying, screaming, how could they not be bothered by it? Because it was a lie. And they know you lie. So they weren't bothered by it. Because conveniently, 2 days later, when you wanted to get some action or play reindeer games, you tested negative. Perfect timing for you to test negative to have something else to go do. This is like the perfect timing of the cat's appointment being canceled with the therapy appointment that freed up you wide open to drive Nader places. It's these coincidences that seem to eliminate all actual responsibilities and free up time for horse shit is really predictable. It's become really predictable. Change your mind? Sure. But, it always seems to change in the favor of something Nader needs to do. Like nobody else, Anyway, so the Moroccan guy's cute. His name's Roman, and he's sweet, and he looks rather slight, thinner than Nader, if we can. Nader looks muscular. This guy's a little smaller. He likes to cook. He may do a cooking video. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Let's see. Skinny guy. Met him online. He seems proficient in English. And not that that's good, bad, or indifferent, but it seems to be a common thing that comes along with her. She seems to date men who have limited English proficiency. And she drives, which means I'm going to guess maybe he doesn't drive. So we start off over again, if this is Dude, with her putting some power in her hands before the relationship even starts. I'll come get you. I'll do this. I'll pick up some wine on my way. Da-da-da-da-da. And she just leads them in. If this was a man doing it to a woman, she had been arrested, be under the jail. But, so, good she tested negative. This is good. This is good. And she went to Dude's place, Roman, and she wasn't at Nader's for that specific moment. And Dude had a bird named Kiwi, and the bird didn't like her. It was cute, though. It was awkward, but it was like, the bird didn't like her. And he seemed very sweet. But it sounded like a replay of Nader over again. And she thinks she's already in love with him because she's a fucking wreck. So, I'm not sure where that's going to go. She had discussed having a partner to do OnlyFans with. So, we'll see. And that's a reasonable thing to seek out. But not the next day. It's like, hey, I met you. Tomorrow, Mark had commented on this. All of a sudden, it's like the next day, we're going to move in and I'm going to buy stuff for you and we're going to plan our lives and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. How about coffee? How about something outside of the car? How about something during the daylight? Something a little less seedy, like do something like people do. COVID's going on, there's COVID restrictions, and I understand there's some civil unrest in Ottawa, specifically. So I can see why some things may be limited. But for years, she's been like this. So she went to Dude's place, had a bird. Maybe he'll cook someday. OMG. She's gonna drag that poor boy into this mess. God love him. God love him. She's not rushing it. She's putting herself first, like we heard before. Cheeseburger, anybody? Anyway. So it goes from the new guy coming in to more whining about Nader and Dede. She did way too, it's old. Even the VIBs who are telling her in the chat, you gotta move on, girl. You gotta find you a man. You gotta live your life. You gotta da-da-da. All those proud, strong, Rosie the Riveter type, we can do it statements come in, and those are good statements, and they're reassuring, but they're wasted on her. She's not listening. She doesn't seem to care. If she did, what a wonderful group of people who would support her. But at the same time, you can be like a ride or die type friend. I'm with you, good, bad, whatever. But a good friend won't co-sign a pile of bullshit. They just won't, because they care about you getting hurt, even if it's you doing it to yourself. And so they might have some boundaries about that and don't want to hear about it. They're not interested in sob stories. They're not interested in ER visits. They're not interested in who said what and who gave who what STD. Jerry Springer. And I mean, it's all well and good to say, well, I'm Foodie Beauty. I'm impervious to shame. Yeah, but the people who know you aren't. And when you're getting phone calls to family members and things like that, that's only because of you. Most families don't have people calling random hours of the time, sending pizzas, doing this, can't travel. And that happens to YouTubers, but not every YouTuber, and not every YouTuber that size either. Is she responsible for her own trolling and getting pizzas ordered to her hotel room when she's out of town? Like in Windsor? No, I don't think. But she says she's a public person. Well, there you go. You're a public person. You've just put yourself out there. No one is drafted to YouTube. I don't have a draft card for making videos. Neither does Mark. Neither does she. None of us have to be here. Actually, she put herself into a corner because it's her full-time job and she has no appreciable skills. So she said she wanted to start off with the truth with Roman, the new guy. But she also said that she lied starting off meeting him and that she was a medical secretary. So the best way to start off a relationship is with a solid foundation of lies. So I see it going. I see it going places. She'll probably tell him the truth soon, which makes it not a lie. Because... of course it's still a lie. Of course it's still a lie. So, the Nader whining that's going on. Now, if I had missed by the skin of my teeth being involved in what I thought was an abusive relationship, abusive in every way, I'd be grateful because I'd be out of there. I'd be gone. I wouldn't have to be around it. Months ago, we were talking paper clips about nonverbal signals on a camera that she might be being hurt and can't say anything to the camera. To us going over there and begging. I know trauma bonding. I know abusive relationships. I've been the sad sack in her position who will grovel to be any part of his life that he'll allow. That she is genuinely excited to buy him shit because it's the only level of contact that he will allow. Dropping it off at her house. He might give her a glass of wine and they fuck around. But again, I think I said last week, this is as far as their relationship's gonna go. She's not gonna twist it all back around now and be like, see, Dede's out of the way. Nope, not gonna. Paper clips, do you remember the paper clips? This idea that she's saving Dede is another one. Okay. The idea that she's going to be saving her from a bad relationship. This is only meant every angle of this. The rescuing Dede, the cursing at Dede, the telling everyone that she thinks that Nader has an STD, so Dede won't sleep with him. All of this is noise crafted to try to split the two of them up. Who we don't even know if they're together. Chantal is assuming that he's with Dede because, in a romantic way, I guess, or a sexual way, because he's not with her. Would it be more of a blow, just question, no pun, if he left Chantal for no one? He didn't leave her for Dede. He was just sick of her and would rather be alone than bothered. That's a possibility, and I don't know which one would hurt more. I didn't leave you for Dede. I left you for peace of mind. I left you for peace, period. I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And that might be where it is. That just might be how it is. So, and you give a shit. Like she gives a shit if Dede lives or dies. I don't think she cares. Woman to woman. I don't think she cares. Second of all, mind your business. Remember when French Fry Girl was telling her all sorts of shit? And she was like, fuck you, you're a liar, you don't know me, you don't know him, you don't know all the people I know. I didn't know I was lying for him at the time. You don't know what it's like for us. And a lot of the stuff came out later. That it was some sketchy info, some verified info, some stuff Foodie Beauty denied, but later came out to be true with receipts. So she's finding herself now in sort of that position with Dede, trying to. One woman to another. Get out of there. It's not a good space. She just wants them apart. If she has to tell Dede that he's dirty and he has a social disease because he's dirty, then she'll do that. If she wants to try to jump in the middle and say, I'll buy you stuff she can't, he'll do that. If she says, I can give you a ride, she can't. She'll try to jump in and do that. Any little way she can involve himself in her life, like a little wet rag, she'll go back and do it. Sad. It's sad. And it makes it not... It's really difficult to care what happens to her when she's so rude about it. I don't know how... So anyway, so what we lead up to in sort of real time is this weekend now. She had gone to the emergency room because she was due, because she has a lot of doctors and therapists, but she needs to go to the ER often enough. She uses it like a primary care physician. She sounds like she says that she sees specialists and that's a long time to wait, so she frequents the ER instead. When I looked back, it was about 5 months since she had gone last, but a couple of people referred to it as her quarterly ER visit, which isn't wrong. And they seem to be timed with other events in her life that she's trying to distract from, or something she's trying to draw attention to herself for sympathy, or to break into a new angle on her channel so that it's not about this now, it's about this, because she really doesn't want to talk about this. So she's going to push it this direction, talking about how, in the interim from this weekend, I'm going to be home all weekend. They said I was fine. Oh, she was fine. They gave her Zolfran because she was nauseous, and then she went home. So she had a stomach ache. She said she couldn't eat for a couple days. So couldn't eat for a couple days. Damn, go to the ER. Could have been bad. So she was checked out. She was fine. She was perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with her. She gets a lot of nausea, and then she sneezes. These vague, diffuse symptoms, are nothing. I mean, I've gone into the ER with some strange symptoms, usually panic attacks that I thought were heart attacks. Of course, I am in treatment for a serious mental illness and have been for 10 years. So when you've been in treatment for 10 or so years, versus I'm not there yet, your life pans out a little different. It looks a little different. Things look a little more settled, and you don't confuse using hospital resources for any other reason than when you're sick. You don't go for revenge. You don't go for, to make somebody mad. You don't go to get back at another person. You don't go to fake concern and rally it around you. Oh, everyone's worried about me now. I used to use the psych ward as a way to put a period at a point of everybody hating me. Like when everyone was sick of me, I'd go to the psych ward, and it kind of felt like it would reset hit the start button, the restart button with everybody. So even though they were all sick of my bullshit, it gives the illusion to people, especially if you get psych help, that I realize I've been wrong this whole time. She's going through it now with now the 10th month of breakup. If they only dated even for the 9 months, she said, why is this now 10 months of this drama? If the relationship was over, it's over. It's only as ongoing. This only has to go on, the discussion about it, as long as she talks about it. And, and then, wait for a text to ask for money or food. That's all I can tell you. Not leaving my house this weekend. Who knows? Who cares? Because if you go to Nader's, you'll lie about it, and then the VIBs will be mad, and then there will be a fight, and then we're back to bright red lipstick, and out we go again, and I can't tell you everything, and he's changed, and he said he never slept with Dede, and I believe him. Crap. It's all crap. Anyway, so that's the thing, I think, with Dede, is this trying to save Dede from Nader now, because Chantal has learned and grown and become inspired. Saving Dede is a whole bunch of horse crap. But what's worse to Chantal, I don't know. Losing Nader to Dede, or losing Nader to no one. He was just sick of it. And, you can buy me things and I'll sleep with you once in a while, but that's it. Take it or leave it. Because that's as far as it's going to go, I think, as far as he's concerned. He can get all of that from somebody else. You know, he can have, you know, when Dede goes over, they don't fight. They just hang out. And Chantal can't understand that. Well, Dede's a different type of person. She's also not playing mind games the whole time, probably. She's probably just hanging out. And they're eating. And they don't do that. You're jealous because they don't fight as much. Well, she's not you. Like, Dede's a different person than Chantal. Chantal thrives off of drama. It means passion to her. Dede is probably just a little more chill. You know, she got sucked further and further into this, and there's been more background about her coming out as well. She walked into it. It's YouTube. You know, you can try to hide and then just let bits and pieces about you be seen, or you can put yourself in front of a camera and bring it on. Sorry, Dede, but when we put ourselves in front of the camera and make no mistake about getting away from it, we don't bring on hate, but we put ourselves in a position where people who don't like us have a forum with a comment section and an ability to make videos about me themselves. So, while I could sort of sympathize with her position in the beginning, now she's part of the show as much as anybody else. She's my most liked of the unlikable characters involved, but she's still part of the show. She's still in on the whole thing. So again, we'll see. Chantal was apparently laying low at home this weekend. She's gonna rejuvenate. She said her home feels like a rehab or something. So she will be unavailable. So a lot of people are taking bets she's gonna go see Nader this weekend. And because Dede would be gone, I guess, and she's going to go over and they're going to fight. They're going to do that passionate fight, have dinner just like old times, and then she'll try to rekindle it, and then he'll want to do something else other than what she likes, and she'll throw her shit and make a video about how he's ungrateful. I tell you, if the genders on this were flipped, it would be like, no question something bad was going on. This is their choices. So we are left with Foodie Beauty, who is having a relaxed weekend, apparently. Nader, who's doing fuck all. I don't care because I don't like him. Dede apparently went home. And Roman better run, not walk from this. Last guy that went on a date with Chantal, the police were there several times. So just be cautious, Roman. Follow your heart, but be cautious, too.
Good luck, Roman.
Speaking of that, we do have Marc here for a little bit to come in and share some thoughts with us. Marc!
Yeah.
Could you come hither, please?
Yeah.
Come hither, come hither, come
I am
hither.
here, I am here.
Would you like
Hey,
a
everybody.
cheeseburger?
No, I'll pass on the beauty later.
I'll just put it in this drawer over here.
Yeah, it'll be there.
So this week
We'll get it 6 months from now.
Yeah, 6 months or so. So we did some chatting. We talked about, of course, Foodie Beauty and her interactions with Nader, and her interactions with Dede, and her interactions with her new beau, or whatever. Some dude she met for 10 minutes. She's already in love.
Yeah.
She's gonna ruin. Never mind. So we were talking about all that stuff, and we bring you in often to talk about substance use disorders, which she was high a couple times, but it seems to be on the back burner given the rest of this drama.
Yeah, it is. It seems that, the substance use really hasn't been talked about a lot. And, people just don't stop. I mean, I don't know. But, in my opinion here, I mean, Nader even himself, he's been, the last couple times he doesn't, looks like something's off. I mean, the last couple of videos, I mean, he was sweaty and like jittery and agitated, and it just was.
He looks a little thin.
Yeah,
and he was no Adonis, but mine worse.
Just things that I noticed. And Foodie Beauty herself, I mean, come on, this, like in that one, again, I don't know exactly which one. It was pretty recent in the video where she was like, looking around, all paranoid, hearing noises in the house, and like peeking, like. These were normal house noises, okay? And like that paranoid thing. And my gosh, that last one, she was so high on the other, I think it was the most recent one, might have been the one right before it, I'm not sure. Well, either way, there were several of them this week where she was so high, and take a look at her edible use. Like, she might as well just empty the whole thing in her mouth. I don't know. I don't get it.
She thinks she has high tolerance, so she takes tons at once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the behaviors too. The behaviors, now she has never been great with behavior. She's always been very, very selfish. She's always been manipulative and untruthful. But at this point, like she lies just to lie. Like
Mhm.
I don't get it. You can't believe anything that you're seeing on there. Like nothing at all.
No.
Like when she said she was like oh, someone I think asked her why her hair was so thin on top, and she replied, "Oh, my hair's so thin on top because that's the only place where I shaved it." We all saw what you
We know you're skinny on top. That'd be like me saying the same thing.
your hair is thin on top.
I
That's
only
all you have to say.
I just
don't
shave in male pattern baldness.
I really I don't get it. I don't. And what else? I wrote something down that I just did not want to forget. I don't know. But another thing, this righteous, like selfish behavior that just is so sickening to me. I don't know. Like she took somebody's spot, the parking spot.
Yeah.
They shoveled out their parking spot for themselves and she stole it. Like who does that?
That
Come
says so
on.
much more than just that.
It does.
Like,
It really does.
you ever hear one of those like stupid little facts about a person and you go, that just says almost everything.
Yeah.
That says that.
Yes.
That's kind of people that leave change for tips.
Yes, right.
Like it's the same.
And what about the outhouse?
The outhouse. All of a sudden, the outhouse needs trips again.
Come on.
We have to
It's
stop the
nothing.
outhouse.
It's just an outhouse. No, I'm sorry. This outhouse is in the middle of nowhere. It is a place where you make connections. Okay? It is. It just is. It is. It's my opinion. Okay, I get it. But you know what? Look, let's just take a look at it for what it is. She did not go to this outhouse before she knew him. She did not to my knowledge. And we've been watching for a while.
Yeah.
Not this behavior, not going there. I don't get it. I don't understand why she. And if I remember correctly, the first time she went to this outhouse by herself was when he was sick. And she had to go or something like that, or he, told her this is where you go or something like that. This was a while back, But, and I took it as, well, he couldn't go himself to get what they needed or whatever, And again, look, this is my opinion. I could be wrong about it. Actually, I hope that I'm wrong about all of this, really. Yeah. But from what I see and what we all see, this is all, the behaviors and all it's still hard to watch all of this stuff. Now, this week, admittedly, probably was a little more maybe upbeat than previous weeks. A little bit. I don't know. There's this new guy in the picture, and, he seems so nice. He does seem really nice.
Which she's got herself all hyped up now on a little new infatuation. She's still not done with Nader, though.
No, absolutely not. She would be there. She may even be there now.
Well, it's the weekend, and she said she's sick, so I'm assuming he's there. She's there. At least during the day, she'll go live and then say she's going to turn in early and then go to his place.
Yeah, it's not.
It made me this therapeutic baba ganoush. It's good for colds.
I'm sorry, but like if you had 1/10 of an ounce of self-confidence, self-esteem, even at the slightest bit, this would not be happening. There are other things involved, and that's why you bring me on here. Drugs are one of them. And that has not stopped, And gosh, look at how much she had been drinking. You never drank that much before.
Yeah, the drinking was new. Hello. And that made me feel ill. Not triggered, but I look at her just drunk and I look at me.
Just ill.
Drunk, because I used to drink.
Oh, gosh. And I don't know. I'm not going to point out everything she did, but one thing that grossed me out this week, the hairball.
She took a hairball
with her hands.
And then
started playing. Whatever. I don't know. But yes, in my opinion, that they are definitely still in the picture. Drugs are still in the picture.
She said she hasn't had any edibles in a few days. At least not on camera. She only looked high a few times.
Yeah. And like any addict, she doesn't know when to stop. She with the edible, she takes more edibles than she should. She smokes more ganja than she should. Just from a kind of professional look, or I guess
because she told herself it's medicine.
Yeah.
So and that it's helping.
Yeah.
So since she thinks for herself it's helping, then it can't be hurtful or harmful.
I mean, why else would somebody continue to go back to a situation like that unless there was something else involved? I'm sorry, the D is not that good to keep going back like that.
No
There's
amount of D
other
is that
things
good.
involved.
There's good D,
and it's
in Iowa,
not
I'm
because
sure.
you're in love either. You know, maybe a combination of all these things, but definitely there substance use is still involved.
I think they had a few good nights when they first met. And she's in love with the memories of it, but that's over.
And look at the drugs that were involved at that time.
Yeah, the first weekend she said she was throwing up from the meth. She probably, I don't know, but I don't know.
But, you know, again, I stand by my opinion here. She needs professional help. And she had this little ER scare, if that's what it was. She had a tummy ache, all right? And now she's magically cured of everything, I guess. Clean bill of health. No fatty liver, no diabetes, no nothing. She is the picture of health.
No. Whatever.
All right.
If she did go to the ER, I hope it is a clean bill of health.
I mean, I do. I don't wish her bad or anything. But
you're in perfect health, except you're 200 pounds overweight.
Yeah, I know.
Did the doctor, and then I've known people who are overweight who say, the doctor tried to shame me. No, they weighed you.
They weighed you.
I know. You don't see a lot of people.
I hope she gets it. I hope she follows through. She needs, she needs mental health, professional mental health, and she also needs medical.
Yeah,
she needs to take her health seriously.
Seriously,
and I hope she does. And if she would get some therapy, if she would sort through some of these things, she could get back to being a productive member of society. Maybe like tone down the selfishness, maybe tone down that righteous behavior. Maybe you know what I mean, like be a more lovable person.
Like if you can get 90,000 subscribers being hated. Just think how many you could have if you were nice.
Like nice, or being seen in a different light. So
yeah, like respected or something.
Respected at least.
Like, how about that?
She's not respected at all. I
know. She acts like she's over it, but she ain't over being made a fool of.
She is foodie beauty. She does not get humiliated.
I'm a public person. You can't humiliate me more than I am. No, otherwise you wouldn't have carried on for a week when you thought your man left you for someone else right in your face. Yeah. So,
I'll let you be.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated. So going into next week, thoughts?
I have none.
Leave any below if you have any. I'm thinking, Nader will be back. If she ruins that poor young man named Roman, that's not kind. Don't drag another person into this when this isn't tied up neatly. I mean, there are people who have breakups that make a clean break and go on with their lives. Not everything has these little trails at the end of it where you leave communication open. So if this is still going on with Nader to any degree, dude needs to know, Roman should know, that you're just having a good time, getting to know somebody new. But if you're going to use him to try to make Nader jealous because you think he used Dede to make you jealous, and it's a dude you just met, then you're being a real asshole, just pulling him in to try to play games with that kind of thing. That's not okay. If you tell yourself it's okay, it's because you're not okay either. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get alerts when we have new videos and go live. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, email, our P.O. Box, all that's listed below as well. Thank you again, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. We are going live at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's our usual Sunday live. Open topic, no plan. Foodie Beauty comes up. Some other folks do too. We have good mobs. It's real chill. So thank you all for watching, and we will catch up with you hopefully tomorrow. Bye. Say goodbye, Mark.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.